Hi there, boys and girls. My name is Miss Ashley, and I love to travel. Usually during this time of year, I'm traveling to other countries to work on a cruise ship. I work with the children on board, and at Christmas time, I love to spend time with them playing games, and I even dress up like an elf. But this year, I'm staying home. But it's got me wondering, how do children around the world celebrate Christmas and different holidays during this time of year? So I thought I would do some fun videos for you, and we can learn about different countries and different holidays around this time of year. So through these videos, we're gonna find out how to say Merry Christmas in different languages and some of the foods that people eat and what traditions and things that they do in their country to celebrate different holidays. Because it's not just Christmas, there's also Hanukah and Kwanza, Santa Lucia Day, and Las Posadas. So we're gonna find out all kinds of different information about different countries and how they celebrate the holidays. So I'm also gonna send to you or your parents or your teachers a cool coloring page that you can do. And I'm gonna show you how we can make a craft that we can use, and every time we learn about a different country, we can add something to our craft. So it's gonna look like this. What is it? That's right, it's a Christmas tree. But not everybody has a Christmas tree for their holidays, but we're gonna use this one for ours. So on the top of the paper, I wrote holidays around the world. And what I'm gonna send for you is one like this. So that's my Christmas tree. And what I did was, you can color it or paint it, but what I did, I had some tissue paper. Maybe you're wrapping some presents and you have some tissue paper. I have green tissue paper. Now, I know this isn't the right color, but if you have like party streamers that are green, that would work too. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the tissue paper and you're gonna rip little pieces off of it. And then you're gonna take your Christmas tree and you're gonna glue the tissue paper to the tree. And I'll show you some pictures of mine as I went along. So after I got finished with the tissue paper, I colored the bottom part with a brown crayon, and then I cut around the edges. And I also found some stickers. I've added some ornaments. So I had some little dot stickers, but if you've got some stars, that would work too. Any kind of stickers. So I decorated my tree with some ornaments, and then I put it on a big piece of paper. And then I added a star to the top. So I had these little silver wooden ones that have a sticker on it, and I put it on the top. But if you have something else, you can put that on there. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna send you something that looks like this, and it's gonna have flags and the country name and how they say Merry Christmas. And so when I teach you about a different country, we're gonna add it to the tree. So if you want to pause the video now, you can make your Christmas tree, or you can watch the video and then you can make it afterwards. But what we're going to do today is we're going to start with our first two countries, but you'll just add one of the countries to your tree. So we're going to do Australia today, and we're also going to do New Zealand, but they're pretty close. So they say Merry Christmas, and this is what their flag looks like. So you're gonna have this little one. Let me get my glue stick. So you're gonna need some glue, and you can color the flag. And then I'm gonna put some glue on there, and I'm gonna add it to the tree. We're gonna have quite a few to add to our tree, so make sure you leave some room. So there's my first one, which is Australia. So before I start with Australia and New Zealand, I want to read a book for you. Now this is something I found on the internet, and it gives you a little bit of a preview of what countries we're going to learn about and some of the things that they do in different countries to celebrate Christmas. So here's the cover. It says, Christmas Around the World. All right, and this is the one that we're going to start with today. This is Australia. Children in Australia celebrate in the middle of the summer season. Children in England celebrate by pulling a Christmas cracker apart. So I won't explain all of these now, but some of my videos later will explain more about what they're talking about. Children in the Netherlands celebrate with gifts from Sinterklaas or St. Nicholas. Children in France celebrate by placing their shoes by the chimney to be filled with treats. Children in Germany celebrate with a sugar-decorated letter to Christkind. Children in Sweden celebrate Santa Lucia's Day. Children in Mexico celebrate Las Posadas. Children in Brazil celebrate by going to church at midnight. And children in the USA celebrate by hanging their stockings for Santa Claus to fill. All right, so that gives you an idea of some of the things that we're going to learn about, but there's so much that we can learn about different countries and how they celebrate the holidays. So we're going to start off by learning about Australia and New Zealand. All right, before we can start with Australia and New Zealand, we need to know where they are in the world, right? So let me get my globe and let's see, we can spin it around. Let's figure out where we are first. So here's the orange one. We're in North America. And if you go all the way on the other side of the world, do you see this purple one? It is, let me put this back in. It is Australia. And I think if you look closely, there's a picture, yeah, there it is, of a koala. So here's Australia. And there's the little koala, and this little one is part of Australia. But over here, this purple one is the country of New Zealand. So much smaller than Australia, but there they are close to each other, Australia and New Zealand. And they're both on the other side of the world. And I've flown there many times, and it takes a long, long time to get there. When I went there, I went from Tennessee to Los Angeles, and then I got on a different plane and went Los Angeles to Sydney, Australia, and that flight is about 16 hours. Can you imagine being on a plane that long? Whew. All right, so now that we know where Australia is, let's find out how they celebrate the holidays. So in our book, we had Australia in there too. So do you notice anything strange maybe? Would you be allowed to wear your bathing suit at Christmas time? No, it's usually cold here, but because Australia is on the other side of the world, when it's cold here, it's hot there. So Christmas for them is in the summertime, and it can get really, really hot there. So some of the things that they do is caroling by candlelight. They like to have barbecue with seafood, and then there's some of their Christmas decorations. So a lot of the Christmas decorations can be the same. They use wreaths and Christmas trees and that sort of thing. But there are some things that are definitely different. So Santa Claus, we usually see in like heavy clothes, but in Australia, they think of Santa as being at the beach. So I'll show you some pictures. I don't know why this printed off so dark, but here's Santa Claus, and he's surfing, and he's wearing swim trunks. That's pretty silly. And also, we usually think of Santa Claus and his reindeer, right? Not in Australia. They usually think about Santa Claus and kangaroo. And they like to be outside, so they might be at the beach, and they like to have food on the grill, which they call a barbie or a barbecue. So here's the barbecue, and they might have seafood, or there's a turkey on the grill there. And families like to spend Christmas Day at the pool or at the beach. I bet some of you guys would like that, wouldn't you? So those are the things that happen in Australia. And New Zealand is very similar to that too, because it can get hot there, so they like to spend time at the beach. And they wear flip-flops and shorts, but they call them jandals and shorts. Sometimes the children in New Zealand might find water guns and water balloons inside their stockings, and they'll go outside and have a water fight on Christmas Day. And maybe they will go in the backyard with their families and play a game of cricket, which is not the bug. It's a game where you, it's kind of like baseball, but a little bit different. And instead of making a snowman, they're at the beach making sandmen. Also in New Zealand, they have what they call their Christmas tree. Of course, they have Christmas trees in their house, but they have a Christmas tree called a Poyutokawa. I hope I'm saying that right. And they call it a Christmas tree because during the Christmas season, it has beautiful red flowers that come on there. So it's a red and green tree. So that's why they call it a Christmas tree. And I'm going to show you one of my pictures that I took when I was in Australia during Christmas time. Instead of seeing things like snow and snowmen, you might see this cool dragon made out of sand on the beach. And here's also some other pictures of Australia. But instead of hearing it from me, I thought it would be cool if you could hear from one of my friends, Claire, who lives in Australia. Now, you might be watching this during the day, but for Claire, it's nighttime because she's so far in the future. It's already tomorrow for her. So take it away, Claire.
Merry Christmas, everyone! Giving a massive shout out from my kitchen table. I would show you outside, but it's dark, so you can't actually see what's happening out there. A couple of things about Christmas in Australia. It's hot, which is why I look a little bit red, because it is summer and we sometimes get up to 40 degrees, which is over 100, I think, in Fahrenheit. We have lots of really delicious desserts, like pavlova is a really big one at Christmas. And we also have a lot of fruit salads and stone fruits like peaches and nectarines and plums and lychees. Lychees are amazing. They're not lychees, they're lychees. And they're amazing and so delicious. And mangoes. Mangoes is the other one. So those are our big fruits that we have for dessert on Christmas. And a lot of the stuff we have is cold seafood like prawns or shrimp, as you would say. And we shell a lot of those and eat them, and they are super delicious and fresh. have a lot of steaks, a lot of sausages. Sometimes we do, we have like a smoked ham, like the really big piece of ham, and we slice that up, and you have that with different like sauces and maybe applesauce on your ham. That's really yummy. Lots of very chill sorts of things. Like that's why the cold ham, it's not hot, it's cold, and the cold prawns, because you want stuff that's cold, and watermelon. Watermelon is really big at Christmas as well, because a lot of the time you're outside and you might be having a barbecue down by the ocean or a river, and a lot of our parks actually have outdoor barbecue spaces where you can set up and hang out with your family. And Boxing Day, we normally maybe hit some sails or hit the beach and go swimming and hang out. It's amazing. But I wanted to, if you want to send me some of your cold Christmas weather, I'll take it. It's hot. It's very, very hot here. But wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you later. Bye.
That was cool, wasn't it? Now, did you hear what she was saying about the pavlova? I bet you're wondering what that is, right? So let me show you some pictures of what pavlova looks like. It's kind of like meringue and whipped cream and then different fruits on top. And they have that both in Australia and New Zealand. So if you remember, we talked about that caroling by candlelight is really popular for Christmas in Australia. And once when I was on a cruise ship at Christmas, we were in Australia. We had mostly Australian families on board, and we got all the children to get on the stage and we sang Jingle Bells. But not the Jingle Bells that you've heard before. It's the Australian version of Jingle Bells. Because there's no snow, they don't sing about snow. So I'm going to sing this one for you. And maybe if you get the hang of it, you can sing along with me. But there's some things I need to explain because it's not going to make much sense. All right. In the song, you're going to hear me sing something about a Holden Ute, which sounds funny, but really that's just like a pickup truck, or it kind of looks like a car that has a truck in the back. A Holden Ute is a truck. An esky is kind of like a cooler that you'd put your ice and your drinks in. Boot is the trunk of their car, or the truck. A kelpie is a kind of Australian dog. A singlet is like a tank top that you would wear. And thongs are what they call flip-flops. So those are the things you're going to hear in the song. So hopefully they'll make sense now. So here we go. This is Australian Jingle Bells. Dashing through the bush in a rusky Holden Ute, kicking up the dust, esky in the boot, kelpie by my side, singing Christmas songs. It's summertime and I'm in my singlet, shorts and thongs. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Christmas in Australia on a scorching summer day. Hey, jingle bells, Christmas time is beaut. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a rusty Holden Ute. Engine's getting hot, we dodge the kangaroos. The swaggy climbs aboard, he is welcome too. All the families there, sitting by the pool. Christmas Day the Aussie way, by the barbecue. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Christmas in Australia on a scorching summer's day. Hey, jingle bells, Christmas time is beaut. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a rusty Holden Ute. That sounded funny, didn't it? Definitely not the version of Jingle Bells you know. But now, if you ever meet a child from Australia, you'll know one of their Christmas songs, and you guys might be able to sing together. Before I leave you today, I wanted to add something to my tree, because as we go along, I want to show you some of the ornaments that I have from different countries, and we're going to add it to the tree. So, today we learned about which country? That's right, Australia, and also New Zealand. So I didn't have ornaments from New Zealand, but I did find some that I had from Australia. So here is a wooden one with a little koala holding a heart. I have a kangaroo. And then I have If you ever go to Sydney, you're gonna see these two things. This is the Sydney Harbor Bridge, and this is the Opera House in Sydney. So and I'll show you a picture of me standing next to the Opera House. We're on the cruise, or I'm standing on the cruise ship, and you can see the Opera House in the background. All right, so it's time to add some ornaments to my tree. There's the Opera House. Here's the bridge. There's my koala. And there's my kangaroo. Let's see, put Angel here. There we go. So now my tree started to have some ornaments on it. And we're gonna keep going with some new countries and some new ornaments. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again for another video. Bye for now.